Welcome back. I want us to look at a further instruction. The instruction in the screen, the instruction on the screen reads, replace the underlined word with one word. Replace the underlined words with one word. What is underlined is technically referred to as phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are different from verb phrases. Now, our technical term, phrasal verbs, tells you clearly that this is a phrase, it is not one word. But I want you to know that anytime we are replacing phrasal verbs with one word, or one word with the phrasal verbs, the meaning of independent words or the constituent words, like now what we have on the screen, break, in, on. We have those which are one tier, and we have those which are two tier, and then we have those which are three tier. This is a three-tier phrasal verb. The constituent words, break, in, and on. The meaning of that unit, break, in, on, is not derived from the independent meanings of these constituent words. The next one is the children kept on breaking in on our conversation. If you say break in, for example, this is break in. Break in will have a different meaning from break in on. Break in on our conversation. But if you say our children, or the children kept on breaking in our conversation without on, that will be vague, because from the meaning of the word break in, it will not have the desired meaning. The next sentence is, that building has really eaten into my savings. Eaten into my savings. These are two-tier phrasal verb. And I want you to know one thing. Tense is very important. When you are writing this, make sure that the tense is up to date. This is break in on. The word break is in the simple present tense, but the word eaten is in the simple, the participle tense. Past participle tense. From the word ate and from the word eat. We have eat, ate, and then eaten. Then the phrasal verb eaten into. Why? Because of that perfect auxiliary verb there, has. The first sentence, the children kept on breaking in on our conversation. To break in on somebody's conversation is to interrupt. To interrupt. 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 So, our word is supposed to be, look at the tense, breaking, breaking, breaking in, on. So the tense is very important. As I said, you have to refer to that. So if you replace that, it would be, the children kept on interrupting our conversation. The children kept on interrupting The children kept on interrupting our conversation. No, somebody may ask, why doesn't the teacher write that and then put in the correct one? You replace that idea or that habit of students ignoring the entire sentence and placing there on that given space in an exam the word interrupting alone. You have not answered the question. The question says replace the underlined words with one word. You replace in the sentence. I've encountered such cases where students ignore the entire sentence, bringing in just one word and putting it there. That one denies you the mark because you will not have answered that question. The children kept on interrupting our conversation. So the word is interrupting. This is what the examiner will mark. So the second one will be, the building has really eaten into my savings. In that case, it will mean deplete. That is the correct word. It will also mean destroy, or demolish, or destroy something. Let me say destroy something gradually. Destroy something gradually. It can also mean use up. Use up. It can also mean use up, especially profits, resources, or time. Yeah? Your work has really eaten into my time. Resources. Time is a resource. Profits. Use up. So, for the meaning sustainable in the sentence, it cannot be to destroy. That building has really destroyed my savings. No, that's it. There's a disconnect. There's something that is not adding up. It doesn't bring the actual sense that we want in the sentence. It is better if we use this. That building has really depleted. I love to write that. That building has really depleted. That building has really depleted my savings. That it should be understood like that. That building has really depleted, has really eaten into. By the way, phrasal verbs require that you come across them personally. They are referred to as fixed forms. They are called fixed forms. They are like proverbs. They are like idioms. They do not change. You will not have that phrasal verb carrying a different meaning with it. No. It will always have the meaning that it has always had. You cannot have that phrasal verb for a different meaning. It will always have that same meaning forever. The only thing is that you can manipulate the tense, you can manipulate the inflection of the first word, but the prepositional part into, on, by, for, with remains. But the base word behind it, the base word behind them remains the same. That is the one that you manipulate. Instead of eating into my savings, eating into my savings, eating into my savings, had eaten into my savings. like that on and on. That is the only word you can manipulate there because it is a fixed form. Look at that. Replace the underlined words with appropriate phrasal verbs. Now you are replacing the underlined words using phrasal verbs. That is the sentence. He became unconscious after the accident. He became unconscious after the accident. Next. Jane rejected my invitation for lunch. Jane rejected my invitation for lunch. The third, the boy stole my money last evening. The boy stole my money last evening. The first one, passed out. To go unconscious is to pass out. When you pass out, you become unconscious. Like, he became unconscious. He passed out. Became. Passed out. Pass out. Become. Unconscious. Become unconscious. So, became unconscious, that is past. Passed out. So you'll have to look at that tense correctly. How about the other two? Turned down. To turn down the offer. Whatever you've been given. Turn down. The third one, steal is to steal something, is to make away with. Or make away with, in the past tense, made away with. Maybe the last one, write the following sentences, supplying the appropriate question tag. The sentence, he dared the boy last week. Dared. You see, when we write question tags, and I'm only going to deal with that. He dared the boy. He dared the boy. Let me say it ends here. You place the comma, and then you use the auxiliary verb that is supposed to be here. Whenever we don't have an auxiliary verb in a situation like this, you bring this down, you insert the probable auxiliary verb. Like now, he did dare. How else can you write that? He dared the boy. He did dare the boy. So that you use this did for your question tag. Because it is positive, you say didn't he? Didn't he? Question mark. We shall begin there in the third series of our questions pertaining to grammar. Until the such a time, good day.